Hello class, my name is Regine Garner and today I'll be presenting to you choosing a strategy for persuasive messages. Starting things off, things we must ask ourselves when trying to persuade. 1. What do you want people to do? Number 2. What objections will audience have? Number 3. How strong a case can you make? 4. What kind of persuasion is best for the situation? 5. What kind of persuasion is best for an organization and culture? So for number 1, what do you want people to do? What that means basically for your presentation, what message are you trying to relay to the person's or the audience watching so that you can get your message across and get them to act? Number 2, what objections will audience have? Well, you'll have some audience members that will not comply right away. Number 3, how strong of a case can you make? How much credibility can you bring to the case in order for the audience to be persuaded by your message? Number 4, what kind of persuasion is best for the situation? That is basically what we're talking about and how we can pick the different strategies or techniques that we can use in order to choose which persuasion is best for the situation at hand. Number 5, what kind of persuasion is best for organization and culture? With this meaning, this is not only for the speaker and or the audience, this is for the organization as a whole. What kind of persuasion will best help persuade people to come to an organization, such as Nike? Nike's slogan is "Let's just do it." And you see people all over doing that in multiple ways or coming towards that in multiple ways due to the marketing and the persuasiveness of the marketers to the consumers. There are 3 different aspects of persuasion. The first aspect we have is argument. Argument is and can be basically direct to the point. What you want your audience to know and what you want them to do. And basically when you're arguing, you're being very direct and you know exactly what it is that you want the audience to believe in, as well as perspective. Argument is definitely perspective, as stated and seen in the picture that I have on the slideshow. One person sees 4 from their angle, and then the other person sees 3 from their angle, but it's all perspective. So how can you be persuading enough in this argument to make the other person see the number that you see? The next aspect is emotional appeal. With this one, it's basically how can you get the audience to feel what you're speaking, to be persuaded by how you feel about what you're speaking about. Basically, you're driving your passion. Next, we have credibility. How can I believe what you're saying if you don't even have sources that will back what you are trying to get me to do? That's basically with like these little scam accounts, how they say, hey, invest 500 and I'll give you 5,000 the next day. What kind of credibility is that? I know it's possible, but are you really going to get your money's worth? Is it credible? And next we have, there are 3 patterns for persuasion, in which we touched bases on the first slide. The first pattern would be direct request, which means the audience does what the speaker asks without hesitation. That's just like them doing it right away with no, what is this? Why is that? That means you persuaded them to the point where they just are ready to dive in head first. Next is problem solving. Basically, the audience won't do what you ask, and you expect more logic than emotion with this. So with problem solving, it's what problem do you have? How can I solve it? And how can I solve it effectively so that you can continue to come back to me? And the last pattern is sales. The audience may do what you ask. You expect more emotions than logic. Basically, you're persuading them into feeling what the product can do for you. That's a good way to explain that one. And next, we are going to discuss threats. Don't do it. Threats won't work because they are not permanent, may not produce desired action, may make people abandon action, produce tension, people dislike / avoid one who threatens, and can provoke counter aggression. Basically, threats do not help when you're trying to persuade someone. It may startle someone and get them to act in the moment, but in the long run, it's going to get them to shy away and or report you. So that's not something that you want. Just don't threaten anyone if you're trying to persuade someone, because it just will not work. And the last thing we will talk about today is objections. So basically, objections is what we discussed in the first few slides about how your audience is not going to always agree and not going to be so eager to just jump right on board with you. So basically, you have to show your audience the need for a sacrifice to achieve larger and more important goals. So basically, help them see the long run. It doesn't need to be something that's right now, but show them that later down the road things will get better. Basically, give them a specific time something's going to happen. Show them where the money is and where the money's being used. Show the advantages and show how that advantages can outweigh the disadvantages. Also, put time and money into the context, because it definitely benefits. And also, when someone objects you, just remember to just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. And that about wraps it up for my presentation. In conclusion, do you have any questions? Pretty sure you don't, because this is a video presentation. Ha ha ha. Pretty sure I persuaded you. And if I put the Constitution in my emails with the government, start reading it. Thank you.